Here we go. Check one. Here we go. Ready? 5, 4, 3. Oh, who's been in here? Anson, were you in here? Check one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry about that. I am delayed only because I'm 3 minutes late because I can't believe Kyle Busch is dead. Kyle Busch, the NASCAR guy, is 41 years old. Holy freak! I just like Monday or whatever tweeted a picture out of him, me, and Meredith Gorman with Kyle Busch when he visited the Boston Herald. I just shocked. Freaking 41 years old. What the frig? That is terrible. I'm not even. He'd been hospitalized with severe illness. Don't know what it's going to. Oh my god. So I don't know anything about NASCAR. I have a friend named Gray. Gray loved NASCAR and hated Kyle Busch. He liked Bobby Labonte. You don't care; it doesn't really matter. But so when I told Gray that Kyle Busch was coming to the station, to the Boston Herald, to the CS radio, he was like, "Oh, let me come there. Let me come there." And he brought something for him to sign, and he saw him, and Kyle Busch could not have been any nicer. He did. That was just really like just a nice guy, and I think he was kind of a heel in NASCAR. I think that was his thing. But man, 41, had a family. Freaking, you never know. You just never know. I think we've talked about this before. Like, what do you take from that? Do you take from that, like, live like it's the last night of your life every night? Or do you take from that, oh, but make sure you're very careful and go to the doctors every 10 seconds? And, like, that's terrible. I didn't mean to start like that. So RIP to Kyle Busch, guy I knew for exactly 21 seconds, who couldn't have been nicer. Um, okay. Um, let's go. So this is what I want to talk about. First of all, am I on? Is everything working? By the way, we are, as you know. How come you're not here? Oh, there you are. There's me. Oh, was I talking for a while without it being on? Hello, everybody, including if people are not Patreon folks, but are just popping by because everything is free today. Nice to talk to you. There's been a lot going on. The Graham Plattner stuff in Maine is just crazy, crazy, crazy. This happens, this happens, this happens. More Reddit posts. Now he's complaining about Thai hookers or something. Yesterday was pleasuring himself in the porta potties. It's like it's something. His Reddit area is just crazy. And by the way, like I want to say something because I want to try to be totally. I want to be totally just intellectually uh, honest. I'm a guy. I'm a guy who's hung out with guys. Hey, Liz. And guys say everything crude and everything crazy. He kind of took it a little late into his 30s, but he's 35 then when he was saying a lot of this stuff. I was 35. When you're 35 and single and still hanging with the guys, like you have conversations that are pushing it because that's interesting and it's funny. And it's funny to be saved forbidden stuff. So I'm not offended by anything he said. Anything he said. Him saying like this thing in porta potties, I don't really relate to that, but I think it was kind of like Alice says, an edgelord humor thing, I think, or that's just where the military guys would, I don't know. But and him having him saying black people don't tip, saying why don't black people tip? I don't know that to be true. Although he was a bartender, so maybe that was what was happening to him. But that was never. I was a tip guy for a long time, and that was never the thing. It was geography was 99% of it, where you were coming from. Like anybody from Washington D.C. or no, sorry, New York City coming in, black, white, brown, whatever, was tipping. Men always more than women. That was just how it is. Not always. Like you had Arianne Huffington one time came in and tipped me $20, which I liked. And Rachel Ray's she was a good tipper too. But generally, it's men from big cities, and New Yorkers are the best, which is like New York off-duty police officers and firemen who were going to see a game at Fenway. That's where the money was, because they wouldn't shut the bleep up, and they were like start drinking beers the moment they arrived at the hotel. Be the loudest ones in the hotel bar. Come over to the concierge desk and say, "Yeah, I want to go to see the Yanks. I want to go down to see the Yanks at the, oh, what did he say? Oh, yeah, we're in from the city." Just to let us know that Boston was not the city. We're in from the city. We want to see the Yanks. What do you got? I said, well, field box tickets are going for $500 a piece. And he said, how many you got together? I was like, okay, 400. Meanwhile, the field box tickets were really going for like 300 a piece or 250 a piece. And I was just adding my extra charge onto them. And they'd like brash and they'd take care of Grisha after. They were like, that's why I'm predisposed to not ever hate Trump, because he's a loud, jerky New Yorker, but he's also another guy who carries a wad of hundreds on him and tips everybody. So there you go. So let's try to just find out exactly why I brought that up. Kyle Busch hotels. Does anybody know why I brought that up? That's too bad. Okay. So I want to start with something. The Democrats, the DNC has come out with. It's great over there. It's great over there. Anytime you think, Splash says if you're at a hotel or a resort and will be frequenting a bar, tipping is is a must. You're absolutely right. You want to find your guy or your people immediately and set precedent right at the beginning. Absolutely. It will behoove you. Absolutely. You know how it's done, Splash. So anyway, Democrats are doing this autopsy thing for 2024. They don't know what happened. They can't believe it. And so they ordered an autopsy. And the Democrat, the chairman, I think Martin is his last name, he didn't like what the autopsy said. Firefighters are awesome. They're like good cops. Like they're awesome. Liz said. And so it's funny. I was in South Street Seaport in 2002, I think, the summer after 9/11, and a fireman, like there was some kind of kitchen fire at one of the restaurants, and the fireman pulled up, and the freaking European tourists flooded them with getting pictures and stuff like they were celebs. They were celebs. That was a good time to be a single New York fireman, depending on, what you were doing, what your assignment was months earlier. Okay, so let's go to this. It's created chaos. They wanted this postpartum thing done. Postpartum. That's depression, isn't it? Postmortem thing done. That's right. And so they ordered this thing, this autopsy done, and they don't like it. They think it's nonsensical. It doesn't make any. It's not cohesive. And so the DNC guy tries to hide it, and then there's infighting saying, why are you hiding it? And there's all sorts of trouble about it. And the Democrats are saying, like, there's a big time, there's all sorts of confusion, and there's chaos, and they're trying to figure out, like, what the hell happened? Here's CNN's wrap tonight of the Democrats trying to figure this thing out.
Breaking news, new exclusive reporting first into the Situation Room. CNN has obtained the Democrats' long-awaited autopsy of the 2024 election, documenting what went wrong in Kamala Harris's loss to President Trump. After publicly promising its release, DNC Chair Ken Martin pulled the plug on the elusive report last year, sparking fierce criticism within the party.
CNN senior reporter Isaac Dover got his exclusive hands on all of this. He's joining us now in the Situation Room. Isaac, this report, you were a big part in why it came out in the first place. Excellent reporting on your part. After back and forth from the DNC chair, Ken Martin, on whether or not he'd release it in full. So what's inside it?
Well, so first of all, that is an important part of this. The plan was not to release this report. The report was released to me after I had obtained a lot of the detail and contents of what was in there. And the report that we have published on our website is with annotations from the DNC lawyers undercutting a lot of what is in the report. That said, it gets into things about spending decisions and organizing that was done by the
spending decisions, like I assume to spend money on Beyonce, that kind of thing,
and see ways to possibly improve it. But there are a lot of things in that version that are incomplete, and also it does not touch a couple of topics that a lot of people were very interested in and thought were the reasons for this report not being out. There's nothing about Joe Biden and what happened in the debate. There's nothing about Kamala Harris getting the nomination.
It's amazing. Can you imagine they left that out? They left that out? Imagine the CYA level that is. They left all the reasons why they lost out.
Without any kind of primary process. And also there is nothing about the way that voters were responding to Gaza and how the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris policies and comments about it were hitting their minds.
So a lot was missing in that report.
So they ordered, the DNC honcho ordered a faulty report. He ordered a crappy report, one that would essentially exonerate them all from complicity. It's so amazing. Like, these freaking people are so slimy and freaking snake pit DC is.
I know you reached out to the current DNC chair, Ken Martin, who we noted earlier has come under some fire for initially not releasing this report to the public. What's he now saying?
Well, he apologized in a statement to me for how he handled it, and he said that he was releasing it to me because he feels like this is about getting back to some level of transparency. But he says in the statement that the report was not ready for prime time. That's how he put it, and that's why he chose not to do it, that it's full of a lot of problems. And again, we are publishing the full report so that people can see it and read for themselves and make their decisions about what's in there.
Because in the full report, there's spelling issues, there's errors and just basic facts.
It's crap.
Why didn't they have a more polished, put-together report at this point in the game?
Well, look, and this was after a year of work on it, and the story that I have up that goes along with the publishing of the report goes through the whole process of how this went down. Martin hired a friend of his as a part-time volunteer to be the person in charge of this report, and that person... I get into a lot of the conversations that person was having. His name is Paul Rivera, that he was having with people and how those conversations went, but also a lot of conversations that he wasn't having. For example, he did not speak to almost anybody who was in a leadership position on the Biden campaign or the Harris campaign. He didn't speak to Joe Biden. He didn't speak to Kamala Harris. He didn't speak to Tim Walz. He did not speak to, when it comes to the Gaza issue, any of the leaders of the uncommitted movement.
So in other words, nobody involved in Democratic leadership, including the standard bearer, including all of the high-level campaign people, none of them were ready for prime time. None of them. Joe Biden wasn't ready for prime time, obviously. Kamala Harris was never ready for prime time. And these people running the DNC, they weren't ready for prime time. They all sucked. And it's good for us that they all sucked. They were terrible through and through. A Democratic strategist, Melissa DeRosa, was there. Talked actually on Fox News about this. Hold on, here she is.
I want to put this X post up, and then you get your take on this. This is from former CNN guy Chris Cillizza. He writes the following: the DNC autopsy report runs 192 pages. There is not one mention of Joe Biden's advanced age or the strategic decision to shield him from a public that thought he was too old to continue as president. He ends by saying unreal. I mean, it's kind of an important thing to leave out, Melissa. What do you think about that?
No, look, it's difficult to properly communicate just what a dumpster fire this report was from beginning to end. I mean, 2024 was so badly botched by my party. So many of us just want to turn the page on it, and this autopsy is keeping it alive and now casting doubt into the leadership that commissioned the autopsy and the right-hand guy that he picked to do it. So it's notable for what's not in this report and the fact that it doesn't address a lot of key things that were huge factors in 2024, including the border policy underlying the nickname that Kamala got for being the border czar, and many other issues, Palestine, Israel, the fact that we, until August, had a candidate that the public didn't believe could actually serve for another 4 years because of his advanced age and potential early onset dementia, and on and on. So it's just a total debacle from start to finish.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And Biden was, what are you doing trying to pull this crap with him? And you have him there talking smack to Trump like a week before the debate. Trump went in there and freaking smoked him. Biden smoked himself. Oh, that was just a freaking mess. It was just a freaking mess. And, of course, the main reason, of course, that that it was a debacle, there were a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of people who should be blamed for it. And also, like, the running mate, Twinkle Toed Tim Walz. What are you freaking... It's amazing. Oh, by the way, I'm in for Jerry Callahan tomorrow morning. I think we'll go live at 10:30 on Newsmax. Tim Walz? Like, what are you thinking? But the main reason was Kamala Harris herself.
Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia.
We campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P. The plan.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today. But I have before, and I'm sure I will again. I've said I'm going to go to the border. And
When are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked. I'm not finished. We've been to the border.
Great.
So this whole thing about the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And
That's great.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
I'm being clear with you right now.
Yes, okay.
And so if you're interested, I'll continue to be clear. There are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it.
What do you see as the biggest national security challenge confronting the U.S.? What is the thing that worries you and keeps you up at night?
Frankly, one of them is our democracy.
You don't feel misused or underused?
No, I don't.
When folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for. I went off script a little bit.
So there you go. That's from Fox News Digital. It's odd that they put that music under it. Maybe that's kind of a way to watermark it. But yeah, it was a disaster. She was terrible.
The most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed.
Fracking? She's been against it for 12 years. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've, again, worked on that.
Great.
My values have not changed.
She wants to confiscate your guns.
I support buybacks, and it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
We have to have a buyback
Great.
program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
You can't do it by executive order any more than Trump can do things when he says he can do it by executive order. Does the vice president have a point there?
Some things you can.
Well, I mean, I would just say, hey, Joe, instead of saying no, we can't, let's say yes, we can.
2020 debate.
My values have not changed.
Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
She said she supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she
Taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants.
detained
She
migrants.
actually said she supported that.
My values have not changed.
Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. Let's remember Charlottesville. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis
and white nationalists.
Stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist.
Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
The most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed.
So that's from a group called, let me see if I can, it's from a group called, I want to get it right, Good Morning Liberty. And yeah, I mean, like, she was just terrible. Remember Freedom? I mean, there's so many things. I didn't want to spend the whole show talking about her because it is over. But make no mistake, like, these people at the DNC, they could do it all again. They could do it all again. And don't believe that they won't. You know, I want to bring up, I want to bring up something else. Maybe we'll get to Grand Platinum, maybe not. I don't, we'll see. I've been watching recently, I'm sure you have too, Brandon Gill. You know, he's the really, like, good-looking congressman in his 30s. He's married to Dinesh D'Souza's daughter, who's a handsome woman. And he's just so good during all these hearings, and I just want to grabbed 3 random ones. This guy is so freaking good. You know, it's going to be Marco or JD Vance, probably JD Vance in 2028. But holy frig, Brandon Gill is so good. This is him talking to this lady Yentl. You don't really need to know much more, but here you go.
Yes or no question. Are you a racist?
I'm not a racist.
You're not a racist. Particularly interesting because according to one of your affiliate charities under your nonprofit umbrella, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits...
Hey, no, she made the rules. That's what she writes. That's what she says. Those are the rules that they say. She doesn't get exempted from her own construct now. No, you're caught in your own trap. Just fester.
Are you a covert white supremacist?
Can I talk about the work that nonprofits do in
No,
your
I'm asking you if you're a covert white supremacist, which according to one of your own organizations, again, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Would you like to answer the question?
I don't know what the question is.
So you refuse to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist?
I am here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do. If you'd like to ask me a question,
I am utterly dumbfounded. You are on record right now, and you will not say that you are not a covert white supremacist?
I don't have a definition in front of me. I haven't looked at the definition. I'm not going to answer a question about my personal views. I'm here to talk about the work of nonprofit organizations.
I want to give you one more chance to do this. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Why are we so off track from the topic?
I'm asking you a very straightforward question.
I've heard your question. Thank you, sir.
And you're not going to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I would like to answer questions about the work of nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
That is really, really astounding. I can answer very directly that I am not a covert white supremacist, and I imagine all of my colleagues can as well. I think you ought to reevaluate what you're doing in the nonprofit sector if you can't answer that in a straightforward way. That is astounding.
So there's one. I'm going to find another one here. I just enjoy this so much. Sorry. Where's the latest one I had up here? Isn't it great? God, I'd love to have him interview Ibram X. Kendi. Okay, here's another one. This is with Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, who was taking lots of gifts.
On June 12th, 2023, you received Hugo Boss cufflinks and a personalized Mont Blanc pin. Do you know who gave you those?
So I did not receive those personally. The city of Chicago
received those on behalf
of the city of Chicago. On behalf of the city of Chicago, as every mayor in the history of Chicago who has provided gifts to the city of Chicago.
Gill is having fun already with this.
Do you know who gave those to the city of Chicago?
So again, on behalf of the city of Chicago, there are
It's a yes
gifts
or no
that are
question.
received, but I do not accept. Those are not my personal gifts.
You don't know.
Those are the gifts of the city of
On March
Chicago,
18th,
and that's why you are aware that they exist, because they're within the law.
My time here, sir. On March 18th, 2024, you received a Gucci tote bag. Do you know who gave you that? Gave the city of Chicago that?
Again, I was here and I was invited.
I'll also
to
take
respond
that as
to the
on March
questions
19th,
around
2024,
welcoming
the
city, and I'm
city
happy to
Chicago
answer any of those
received
questions.
A Givenchy bag, a Kate Spade purse, and Carucci shoes. Do you know who gave the city of Chicago those?
Again, I was brought.
I'll take that as a no. I'm reclaiming my time
to respond
here, sir. I am reclaiming my time.
Chicago.
He's toying with them. Do you know who gave the city of Chicago those?
This
What a
raises
welcoming city
serious
ordinance is.
ethical concerns. You're providing an enormous amount of aid to illegal aliens, aiding and abetting criminals who have come into our country illegally. And you yourself are receiving an enormous amount of gifts, and you won't even tell us who they're coming from. That raises
time is up.
serious ethical
We have
concerns.
a 5-minute rule.
Oh, good. I mean, come on. I'll do one more. It couldn't happen. Brandon Johnson is just a cretin, a demon cretin slug who should be incarcerated, probably. And wouldn't shock me. Okay, let's find another. Okay, here's another one. This is, oh, good. Here we go.
You still believe in defunding the police?
I believe in public safety, and that means driving dollars to where we're most likely to prevent crimes from happening and ensure that we have responsive law enforcement that doesn't violate people's rights and it prevents crime.
Does that mean driving dollars away from law enforcement?
It means making sure we're driving dollars to the things that support public safety, and that's a variety of things.
So possibly away from law enforcement.
Well, I think we have law enforcement. We have talked about the need for law enforcement, particularly when we're fighting hate and bias crimes, which
I agree. We
have more than
certainly
doubled in
do
this
need law
country since
enforcement.
2015.
Law enforcement's
So I think
very important. During your mayoral race a few years ago, you said, quote, "I'm going to take $1 billion from New York City Police Department." Do you still think that's a good idea?
Well, I'm here to talk about hate crimes, not my run
just asking
for
if that's-
city.
if- I'm
I
asking from a
stand by my
public's-
run for mayor, and I appreciate
stand by
the
that
opportunity
statement. You also
to try to
stated-
drive dollars
You also
to
stated
public
you
safety.
have to cut the police budget and change what we mean by policing. Do you still stand by that statement as well?
I stand by the need to invest in community safety, to ensure that
by
we have a
defunding the
vibrant
police.
civil rights community that is able to participate in
I
keeping
just want to be
our
clear.
community
You
safe
believe in
from hate
investing
and
in
bias.
community safety by defunding the police?
I am here to say that I'm really grateful we have the Southern Poverty Law Center because it is doing work, including with law
and you think
enforcement,
that you think defunding
to
the police
prevent
makes our community
hate
safer?
and bias
Okay, I've got another question for you. What is a black job?
You'd have to ask Donald Trump.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm referring to a statement that you made a year ago on your LinkedIn. I was so honored and proud to be a New York State delegate for our next president, with Vice President Kamala Harris ascending to her black job.
Donald Trump made a comment that was very stereotypical about black people, and it was a joke about his stereotypical statement about black people.
What is a black job?
You'll have to ask Donald Trump.
I have to ask. Well, Donald Trump's not on the witness stand. So
Well,
I'm asking you.
I'm here to talk about hate crime, which I hope you want to talk about as
The
well.
gentleman will yield. I
Clinton-
can clarify that.
No, I'd like to hear from the witness, but I appreciate it. Could Hillary Clinton have filled that black job? What you call
You'd
a black
have to
job?
ask Donald Trump.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Dr. Swain, got a couple questions for you, and thank you again for being here. In your book, The New White Nationalism, which is excellent, you wrote that in 2002 there were approximately 2,000 KKK members in the entire nation. Sounds like you believe a large portion of them were paid informants. Do you think that the SPLC was involved back in 2002? If you can turn the mic on, please.
This is the former.
There was a scholar named
Virginia
Larry
Lieutenant Governor.
Wilcox that I referenced,
I think.
and he did research, and he was very critical of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And he said at one point that there were more paid informants than actually KKK members. And I would concede that the Southern Poverty Law Center was very successful as far as bankrupting the neo-Nazis and the KKK. So I would concede that.
So it's Carol Swain. Swain. Yep, okay, that is not the whatever. It doesn't matter. It's about Brandon Gill. Okay. I also wanted to get to. Hang on. I'm not doing Spencer Pratt. It was some more audio I wanted to hit here. Oh yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. Here's him. Oh, Jay. Yeah. Jerry had this the other night. But here's no. Let's not do Kimmel. Let's do Steve. This is from Steve who's Steve Carell's last show, or second to last show. Listen to how freaking terrible the segment is. This is him with Robert Reich.
Last time we spoke was 15 years ago.
Yes, you haven't changed.
Neither of you. on the Colbert Report, and then of course I couldn't really agree with what you were saying, or really even understand what you were saying. But one of the things that you said in that interview has stuck with me ever since. We were talking about economic inequality in the United States and what the fruit of that would be. And you said at the time, here's the choice we have. Either we have reform. And in this country, we have always chosen, when we understand the nature of a problem, we always choose reform. Reform that enlarges the circle of prosperity for most people. Or we have a backlash, an angrier politics that picks on immigrants or foreign trade or blames the poor or even the rich. I was really hoping the first half of that statement would be true. I kept on waiting for, I think you said at the time, like the tap of justice to be opened a little bit, just so those at the top could preserve their position. Because this second half leads ultimately towards some form of revolution. Would you please oraculate as to where we go from here? Because I think we know which one of these two it turned out to be.
Well, I think we have no choice, Stephen, except to hope and work for democracy and to make the rule of law again the rule of our country.
How do you, I'm just curious. I agree with you. That was what a lot of the last campaign was fought.
So yeah, yada yada yada. Just the go away show. Was never a show. It just wasn't. It was just crap. For all these years, they paid this guy. Just total freaking. Just slop, filth stuff that's just terrible. Here's another story that, and I won't get into this too much, but new details are coming in about the Bataclan. Remember that? That was like the 2015 or 2016 sling at the concert in France. As new details are out that the French police authorities tried to hide. To remind everyone, what really happened that night, they cut off the testicles and shoved them into the victims' mouths. They stabbed pregnant women in the womb and raped them. They beheaded people. They gouged people's eyes out. But France did whatever it could to cover this stuff up. That's a problemo, and we need to make sure that we don't let this crap happen in our country, where we cover up the truth of these things. These people are just effing terrible. Terrible. And I'm talking about the French government at this point. We got to make sure these freaking pansies and these total panty waists and these betas and these weird Justin Trudeau kind of people, Keir Starmer kind of people, these weirdos who want to be cucked and want a dog collar on them from these Islamists, we can't have them leading us. You just can't do it. It's no bueno. Okay. So let's go. Do we go to the chat? Sorry, we had a guy, and I've been going back and forth last 2 seconds with Steve Robinson from the Wayne Wire. This guy who runs one of these healthcare places, one of these home care, whatever places, accused us of because we knocked on it. One of our reporters knocked on his door and to see if somebody was really there, and there was no answer at all. So he, on video, just said, "Okay, there's nobody here." The guy eventually flew off the handle, got a hold of a reporter and said, "You never came in. You should have come in," and berated him, and then said, and then recorded it. We gave him a chance to say his side of the story, and and so he used it to berate our reporter. And then he said, "I'm going to, if I don't get the apology I want, I'm recording this interview right now. That I'm going to give it to a local news organization that's been asking me for this." And which is obviously there's nothing. That's nothing. It's an empty threat. He can't do anything. He has nothing. But the fact that this dude tried to blackmail us and our reporter makes me want to go scorched earth on this dude. And so that's why I'm overcome with anger right now, and I'm I've been going back and forth. I thought you might find that interesting because, like, imagine that was happening with one of your guys, and our reporter was like, we offered them a chance, and they were just freaking. Just amazing, like this piece of. Oh, I'm gonna. If I will talk to this guy. This happened when I was at the Lowell Sun. Some mayor called up and said, "You tell your reporters. You listen to me." He said on the phone, "You tell your reporters," and like I'm not a tough guy, but that's a real quick way to get freaking rage exploding Tom Shattuck right there, and I freaking railed this guy. Railed him on the phone loudly, and I said stuff that I used everything. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be." Then he texted back and he said, "That went well." Then he texted back and said, "Hey, will you please have lunch with me the next day?" It was a nice little puppy dog. And then it's the same. It's gonna be the same. I mean, this guy, I just need the green light from Steve Robinson, and I will have a similar conversation. And I believe I'm allowed to record him if he's in Maine, or can I not? I'll go to Maine. I'll drive to Maine and literally go over the border and record him there, and I'll have the content for you if I do. Blackmail, plus a stupid blackmail. It's not even scary. What are they gonna do? Have the Channel 9 in Maine talk about the Maine Wire is harassing healthcare places and wasn't thorough? Gives a shut up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's like somebody pointing a gun at you and saying "Sayonara, mother effer," and pulling the trigger and the gum jams. Now it's your turn. So now I'm like, okay, too bad you did that because you intended to kill me and end everything. But now I'm the one with the gun. Oh, God. I'm in a revenge mood. Okay. So let's go to the chat. Let's go to the messages here. Firefighter, if the report went any farther than America doesn't like blacks or women, then the Democrats have no interest. Splash, you're so right about that. They want the findings. They want the conclusion that they want. It's funny. We had Scott Fersen, the political consultant, on the Maine Wire show today. He's a Democrat, a guy who didn't lose his mind after Trump won. He's a Democrat, though. Doesn't like Trump, but didn't lose his mind. And he's also saying, like, talk about the things. Beware. He said that essentially that, like, in 2016, he had a mindset that you'd have if you hang out in New England, Boston, Massachusetts, and you didn't understand the rest of the country, and you'd be like, why would they vote for, like, what? Like, he said, grab him by the like, what the? And now that he went out and talked to Americans, and he's like, oh, I see. This is not America. In other words, Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut are not America. Spelling errors, says Liz. Isn't that great? Hopefully we can see them soon. Splash says her whole campaign was proof that DEI is unsustainable, and elevating people strictly on mutable characteristics is a failure. They hired people to run her campaign based on vibes. Nobody bought it. Yeah, it's because they were listening also to like 26-year-olds that don't know anything about it. Vibes, and what was she so fresh or whatever? There was a thing that she was. Well, and the other thing, Splash, was this. She also just never studied. She never tried. She was talentless naturally. So if she got in front of a microphone, she had no talent. Somehow somebody told her she had talent. There's the DEI. They did you no favors, Kamala, telling you were good at this. Charm School says, love how Spencer Pratt always has Kamala, Newsom, and Pelosi in his ads. Isn't that great? Yeah, he's like freaking fantastic. Liz says they can't even see how ridiculous their viewpoints are. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, they come from a place where they're telling you to butcher children if their children are confused. Okay. Until you move off of that, I think you got a problem. Splash says eventually Democrat policies are going to gain hold long enough that it's going to be absolutely it's going to absolutely destroy the entirety of this country. That's the risk, man. That's the risk. I know. I mean, just look at some of the states. Some of the states that should be flourishing, like Vermont, beautiful state, despite the politicians. But the biggest employer is the government, and social programs. They've also got a new Vermonter policy that will get more exposed quite soon. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's do the shot chat. Here we go.
I watched the main wire story on the young man who shot the dog.
Yes.
And, all those people who were threatening him and claiming the dog was not.
I did talk about this in the show yesterday, right? So yeah. So what happened was this guy lives across the street from another guy with a pit bull. The pit bull was been loose before. And the guy said, get your freaking dog out of here. I've got a little kid. I don't want that dog anywhere near my little kid. They let it go again, and it ran away. He scared it away once, and he said, that freaking dog comes over here after my kid one more time, I'm going to shoot it. It came over, he shot it, killed it, and he's been getting nothing but death threats. On the good side, he's got all sorts of video footage of it, which is fantastic. And the guy who owns the dog was arrested by the cops, which is effing fantastic.
All those people who were threatening him and claiming the dog was nice, and you put it yourself, does someone have to get mauled in order for someone to believe they're protecting? Well, according to liberals, yes.
Yeah.
If someone breaks into your home and they put a foot through the doorway and you shoot them 10 times, they're going to complain that you shot the guy 10 times.
Yes.
Or even that you shot him at all.
Yeah.
How do you know he's trying to cause harm? Well, he broke into my house. Well, that doesn't mean maybe he needed to use the bathroom. Well, maybe he was looking for ketchup. They will come up with any excuse because they've been so conditioned that there's no bad in the world, that we're the bad people for not trying to understand insanity.
You're so right about that. I mean, they never bring up just organically the guy who stabbed the pretty Ukrainian girl on the bus. They never bring that up at all. They just never bring that up. They'll bring up that Luigi Mangione is a hero for shooting the CEO. I mean, these people are unhinged, and they should be marginalized. They really should be, like they used to be. But we've let them, don't let people get a foothold. That's one thing. Two, start to create laws and policies that will stick, that they all call you a Nazi for doing, but we need to do it. We can't have this trans thing happening in this country, this therions and furries and all this other BS. Boys taking trophies away from girls. Boys in locker rooms. If you listen to the audio from some of the main teams, boys touching themselves, laughing at the girl. And there's nothing the schools are doing to protect the girl. Like, F this, dude. F this. The left has pushed it way too far. Way too far. They're not responsible. They push the COVID stuff. They're just crazies.
Hi, Steve from Merriman.
Hey, Steve.
As Howie Carr always says, not every pit bull owner is a drug dealer, but every drug dealer has a pit bull.
Correct.
Usually named Rommel or Attila, something like that. And there's just no need for these dogs.
Right.
I'm not a huge pet guy. I don't mind dogs. I mind dogs that go into restaurants with their owners, and owners who have to go everywhere with their bleeping dog. It just pisses me off. I hate it. Thank you.
I know, so I agree with you there. And the fact that, everybody walks into the Whole Foods with a dog, and Whole Foods is bringing... What are you doing? But we've also made it illegal to keep the dog in the car now, Steve. They will freaking dime you out if you have your dog in the car, even with the window cracked, no matter what the temperature is. Too many psychos will dime you out. So now you got to bring your freaking dog into everything. Ugh. And I don't like it. You know what? I don't want to be one of those people, but I have a kid who's allergic to dogs, and they have this stupid therapy dog in his school, and he hates it because he scratches when the dog is around. It's like, just get this effing thing out of here. Why do schools need therapy dogs? therapy dogs. Half of these kids have their own dogs at home.
Everywhere with their bleeping dog. It just pisses me off. I hate it. Thank you. Regarding the guy with the pistol, I've shot a lot of guns in my life, but never like a real pistol. I mean, I've shot an air pistol. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
But I've shot like rifles and stuff. But you can imagine in the moment, no matter how much training this guy had, when it was time to use the gun, like his adrenaline was pumping. I'm sure his hands were shaking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised he only got off 5 rounds. But, yeah, man, people and their effing dogs.
Yeah. Steve, if you see the video, you've probably seen it by now. Meanwhile, has the video up. That thing was closing way too fast. I wouldn't have gotten off a shot at all. It was like, holy frig, that thing was at on location quickly. Guys, great week. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I appreciate it. We'll see you Sunday. Hopefully get a food show done before that. Hopefully. Oh, wait, today's Thursday. That's right. I have Friday. Maybe I can do one tomorrow. And Saturday, and then Sunday. I'm hosting Jerry Callahan tomorrow at 10:30. And then I will see you on the Main Wire TV at 4 p.m. This is where Alice needs to talk. I should grab a recording of Alice saying sweet things and just play it here. That's what I'll do. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Hope you enjoy the weather. I like this today. I like these downpours, too. Here we go. See ya. Thank you.
C'est la vie.